Hello and welcome to this special year-end edition of The Big Fight. It's that time of the year where we show you some of the most interesting episodes and the biggest fights of the year that has just gone by. Now this year, of course, was a year dominated largely by the Lokpal Bill and by Anna Hazare. But there were plenty of other big fights as well, including this one over the future of the left, and this just after the left lost in West Bengal after 34 years. I'm asking you, Prasenjit, now a direct question. Is part of the reason why the left is in the position that it is in is because almost the arrogance of the CPM. We saw it at the center. You were in a position of considerable authority 2.5, 3 years ago. You were practically in a position where you could make the policies of the government of India. But the arrogance that was displayed at that time, the fact that you withdrew support of the nuclear bill, the humiliation that many people saw you putting the Prime Minister through at that time, is that one of the reasons why the people have paid you back? That the CPM was seen as arrogant, and not just by the people of the country, apparently by some of your allies also.
No, I completely refute this charge. I think that we are not at all arrogant. In fact, we are one of the few political parties of our country who discuss our mistakes, and if we commit mistakes, we accept our mistakes also publicly. But I want to make two quick points. First of all, you are dragging in the nuclear deal. I think that we are discussing this whole question in the backdrop of assembly elections.
I'm saying it's a symptom of arrogance.
So what was arrogance? We said we oppose the nuclear deal on a set of specific objections, and they are turning out to be correct. What is the Indian government today finding out about the United States? What is the United States doing vis-a-vis Pakistan, vis-a-vis terrorism? Are they serving our interests?
Oh,
so don't digress from the... Vikram, wait. You can just throw questions and then not allow me to respond.
I'm asking you about arrogance. It's not about the merits of the nuclear deal.
First of all, I think that basically the fact of the matter is, I think Comrade Dasgupta has a point, that the mass movements of the left, led by the left, are the future of the left. There is no doubt. And completely contrary to what Mr. Bhalla is saying, we are a country of overwhelmingly poor people, working class people, peasants, and they do not fit into Mr. Bhalla's scheme of things.
But in that case, Prasenjit, you've spoken at great length.
No, you have not given me enough. The relevance of the left,
Prasenjit, we've heard your point. Dipankar though would argue that if that is the position, they are leading the mass movements.
No, what are you talking about?
And the left as a movemental trend in the country, I think we must make a distinction. When the CPIM had come to power in West Bengal back in 1977, the main promise was restoration of democracy. And the party had promised that the left-front government would serve as a weapon of mass struggle. And look at what's happening in Bengal now. Last 5 years, we have seen Singur, we have seen Nandigram, we have seen Lalgarh. We have seen that the CPM-led government, instead of promoting people's struggle, it is crushing people's struggle. It is crushing democracy. It is not just a question of a few leaders being arrogant. It's a question of democratic rights of the people in West Bengal.
Okay, Dipankar, so are you arguing that they need to move even further to the left? Are you saying that they are being outflanked by the Maoists, by parties like the CPI-ML, which you represent?
No, have a self-critical review of your own party's performance.
Of course. Our party is not very strong in West Bengal, but I can tell you,
you are helping
You
are helping the right-wing forces to raise their heads in West Bengal. I'm telling you. This is what happens with the ultra-left.
And as far as
Manish Tiwari's point is concerned, defending the national sovereignty of our country is not arrogance. We will defend our national interest of our country to our last breath. We will not allow the Congress party to sell off our country to the Americans. We will never allow that to happen.
A warped perception of national interest, whereby you try and subjugate the sovereignty and the development of this country to your brand of anti-Americanism is something which has been completely rejected by the people. You need to introspect. You withdrew support to the UPA government or what? Because you took your anti-Americanism a little too far. That's nothing like this. You were not able to get out of your ideological hang-ups. That is your little problem. You live in a time where what happened to you today? What happened to you today is just 20 years too late. Just 20 years too late. What happened in 1991? What happened in 1991 to the Soviet Union and to East Europe just happened to you yesterday. It's just 20 years too late. But I'm very happy that it has happened.
I think you're
Can I get a hammer somewhere?
you're getting the answer.
We are very proud of our
Please,
credentials against
please,
US imperialism. We are not apologetic about that.
give somebody else a chance.
They are very proud of getting hammered in West Bengal and having lost in Kerala. That's what they are proud of. This is the arrogance which precisely our friend was pointing to, which has got them into all this trouble.
Can somebody switch off some mics?
I'm wondering where in the developing world do you hear this kind of language which we've seen?
India.
Yeah, I said where else in the developing world? And maybe in India, maybe in West Bengal, and maybe from tomorrow not even in West Bengal, other than the mass struggle, trade union movements, etc. You know, why aren't we talking about development? Why aren't we talking what the poor want? Why aren't we talking about what the poor did in West Bengal? They threw them out mercilessly. I think let's try and see.
Have you heard of land reforms?
Listen, Prasenjit, okay, let me come out on land reforms.
Yes.
If you promise to be quiet for 30 seconds.
Please speak about land reforms.
The land reform was done in 1982. After that, there's a pitiful 30,000 acres that they are saying they're redistributing this year. And the point is, there isn't enough farms to give the 30,000 acres to. That is a minuscule amount if you were to redistribute that land.
Which other
for each
state in the
farmer,
country
there
is
are 9
doing
million
that?
farmers. Again, you're keeping...
But because you are saying...
Why? Let him have the show. You should have a big fight with just Prasenjit. He'll fight with himself.
Please go on. Okay, okay.
Right? Okay, let him fight with himself.
Okay.
What's the point?
Okay, so
I see no reason.
All right.
I see no reason to talk because I think Prasenjit has all the knowledge of the world, especially after yesterday. After yesterday, he's learned that he is all powerful. That all he has to do is to shout louder than anybody else on any of the networks, let alone on NDTV, and therefore I'm king.
Okay,
you please be king.
No. You come to the topic. Come to the topic.
You please be king.
No, since you are asking me to...
we've given you the floor.
No. Respond. Let me ask you a question.
Prasenjit, can you allow him to speak? Now,
How can you ever say anything?
okay, Prasenjit,
I mean, really,
please
it's
allow him to
pathetic.
speak.
But I think it illustrates. You started off with arrogance, there's hubris. This is reflecting both Mr. Dasgupta and Mr. Prasenjit Bose. At least the ultra-left is not arrogant. They don't have much to be arrogant about yet. But these guys had something to be arrogant about, and that's all gone.
But is it
we are watching
not
history.
arrogance when you belittle mass struggle? Mass struggle is the essence of democracy. It's not about the left.
Well, now let's talk democracy.
May I just... Dipankar has hardly spoken. I want to give him a chance.
No, I think this is elitist disdain for the mass struggle. The masses have every right to protest. They have every right to defend themselves.
But we have done for the poor something. Please name one Congress or BJP-led government which has done land reforms. And I will accept all your point.
Now,
Number two, Mr. Bhalla's point. I think that he is making a very serious allegation that not only the CPIM is in this, involved in whatever he thinks it has been doing in West Bengal, but the Election Commission for 34 years has been hand in glove in a communist conspiracy. Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of your mind? I think that Mr. Bhalla, basically, the problem
actually, the Election Commission has not been that vigilant.
No, the problem with the likes of Mr. Bhalla or Mr. Manish Tiwari is that they fail to reconcile the fact that the reason why the left has been in power...
You are failing to reconcile the fact, my friend, that you've been given a hammering of your life.
Yes,
and still you go on screaming about your achievements.
Because
you've got a hammering of your life. You have come down to 34. And the one thing which marks out...
Can I say something?
No, one thing which marks out... But
you are saying we are arrogant.
Just listen to me.
You are saying...
Just listen to me.
Every time you have lost election, you have said rigging. We lost election after 24 years.
Can I say... The one can hear anybody, we almost out of time.
Accept the mandate of the people.
You have no other choice.
What
do you mean?
Manish,
you could kill people. It is not the Soviet Union where you could kill people. It is not China.
Can I beg you guys, don't go to the Soviet Union, you don't have time for this.
Therefore, you have to accept the verdict.
No, you didn't allow me to finish this point.
I'm sorry, Prasenjit.
That you can drive tanks over students. So therefore, that is why you have to accept the verdict.
You called him insane. Can I get you to reaction to that?
Your government survived for 4 years on their support.
That's precisely.
You didn't remember?
We tried to reform them. We tried to reform them.
Thank God we didn't reform. Thank God we didn't reform. We don't want any reformism from your side. We don't want to reform the way you want.
Can I ask for everyone's microphones to be put off excepting for Surjit Bhalla's?
Can I, you know, one thing that, and coming back to the original
you want to respond to what he said to you.
I think the viewers. I'm sorry?
He called you insane, so I'm giving you the floor.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't say
Are you out of your mind?
I have great regards for him.
Basically,
that was very evident.
Whether you are out of your mind,
I think the viewers and maybe you and maybe a few others might be interested in the following observation about why the CPM lost, because I thought that was the original purpose of this discussion. And, you know, you find that out when you go to their offices. This is now, I'm describing the Chief Minister's office in Calcutta, where on the board is a map from 1980. And in this room are all the pictures, all from Engels and Marx and Ho Chi Minh and Stalin, all on the board. And the map is pre-1989, which is the Soviet Union. So I think the key message is that they were caught in words like mass struggle, in words like trade unionism, etc., not recognizing that the world has enormously changed.
Terror has, of course, been a dominant theme on The Big Fight over the years, but this year we did a couple of episodes on a strange new sort of a beast, so-called right-wing Hindutva terror. And there was this rather interesting exchange between me and one of the leaders of the Abhinav Bharat. आप कह नहीं रहे हैं कि आप आतंकवादी गतिविधियों में शामिल थे। क्या आपके और लश्कर-ए-तोयबा के बीच में किसी किस्म के कंपैरिजन ड्रॉ किए जाने चाहिए? वो भी नहीं कहते हैं कि उन्होंने किया था। उनके भी सदस्य एक्सट्रीमिस्ट एक्टिविटीज में शामिल होते हैं। क्या आप एक्सट्रीमिस्ट एक्टिविटीज को डिनाउंस करने के लिए तैयार हैं?
एक मिनट, मैं आपको बता दूं, अभी कुछ ही दिन पहले बनारस में ब्लास्ट हुआ। उस बनारस के ब्लास्ट के बाद एक मुस्लिम संगठन है जिसका नाम मुझे अभी याद नहीं आ रहा है, इंडियन मुजाहिदीन, उसने बाकायदा आप लोगों को प्रेस रिलीज दे करके जिम्मेदारी ली। तो आप लश्कर-ए-तोयबा
पर बहुत लोगों का कहना है कि इंडियन मुजाहिदीन जो ग्रुप है एक्चुअली लश्कर-ए-तोयबा है, वो किसी और के नाम पे
काम कर रहा है। तो लश्कर-ए-तोयबा अपनी जिम्मेदारियों को ले रहा है। आप पहली बात तो अभिनव भारत के बारे में पूर्णतः जानकारी हासिल करें।
लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल पुरोहित आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के मेंबर थे कि नहीं थे?
देखिए, कर्नल पुरोहित हमारे संगठन के नहीं है।
नहीं है, बस आप देखिए, क्या आप उनकी एक्टिविटीज को कंडेम करते हैं?
पहली बात, अभिनव भारत को विनायक वीर सावरकर जी ने स्थापित किया था, आपको पता होना चाहिए। दूसरी चीज
सावरकर का पिछले साल हमने इसी प्रोग्राम में इंटरव्यू भी किया था।
हाँ, इंटरव्यू भी किया था। परंतु आपको मैं बता दूं, अभिनव भारत एक ऐसा संगठन है जो राष्ट्र निर्माण में लगा हुआ है। अभिनव भारत का कर्नल पुरोहित से संबंध है। लेकिन
तो आप कह रहे थे कि वो नहीं है।
एक मिनट, आप इस तरह पूछेंगे तो हम क्या कहें? आप सीधा एक सैनिक को, एक राष्ट्रवादी सैनिक को जो इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो में था, मिलिट्री के इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो में था, आप उसको आतंकवादी घोषित कर रहे हो। आप कोर्ट ट्रायल का इंतजार नहीं कर रहे हो।
क्या वो सदस्य हैं आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के? नहीं है,
हमारे सदस्य हैं। मैं आपको
अब आप कह रहे सदस्य हैं, 2 मिनट पहले आपने कहा नहीं है।
बिल्कुल हमारे सदस्य हैं। मैं आपको बताऊं, ये कांग्रेस की सोची समझी साजिश है।
कांग्रेस में आप 2 मिनट बाद जाइए। मनीष जी, 3 मिनट पहले आपने कहा था कि पुरोहित जी आपके संगठन में नहीं है। अब आप कह रहे हैं संगठन में हैं।
एक मिनट,
तो आप तब झूठ बोल रहे हैं कि अब
मैं झूठ बिल्कुल नहीं बोल रहा हूं। मैं आप मेरी बात पहले सुन ले, मैं बिल्कुल झूठ नहीं बोल रहा हूं। जब यहां पर आप तहलका के रिपोर्टों पर, तहलका जैसे गैर राष्ट्रवादी संगठनों के रिपोर्टों पर आप डिबेट करेंगे तो हम बिल्कुल भी झूठ बोलेंगे।
एक मिनट, पर कम से कम शोमा कह तो रही है कि वो तहलका से जुड़ी हैं, इनकार तो नहीं कर रही हैं।
तो
हमने कभी नहीं, आप तो कह भी नहीं रहे हैं कि वो हैं आपके सदस्य कि नहीं है।
वो हमारे सदस्य हैं, परंतु आप एक बात सुन लीजिए, आप उनको संस्थापक मत कहिए।
26/11, that was a Mumbai incident. Everybody has condemned. There is a book by Aziz Barni. He wrote a book. The book was released in Delhi. The book release function was attended by the most powerful General Secretary and patron of Rahul Gandhi, Digvijay Singh, Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. The book's title is RSS Conspiracy 26/11.
But that's wrong.
That was an act of foolishness.
I think if Digvijay Singh went for that,
nobody is condemning.
Everyone's condemned it.
No,
I can't think of anybody who is not condemned it. Everyone is condemned it. I think it's bizarre that he did it.
Whether you are helping Pakistan in this way, or we can